Smackdown Live is finally in the books. We saw a debut worthy of a perfect 10, a debut of a king, and we're getting a match in a house of horrors. All that and more on this episode of Around the Point. Let's get into it.
And now you are watching Around the Point on YouTube.com. Here's your host, Heel Steven.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, Peruvian Strong Style, your boy Heel, back at it again. This is another episode of Around the Point. Thank you all for listening and watching here on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HeelSteven. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give it a big old thumbs up and share it through all social media, Facebook, Twitter, and all that other fun stuff out there. This is your Smackdown Live review for April the 4th, 2017. Smackdown Live after WrestleMania. Live from Orlando, Florida. And I'll be very honest with you guys, I thought this episode was a very okay, solid episode of Smackdown Live. They've done better, and I get it, you know, you have that WrestleMania crowd from all over the world, what have you, but I felt like it was just there to me tonight. The show kicked off with Randy Orton, the new WWE champion, and he's talking about how he beat Bray Wyatt. He's the new master, if you will. And then on the screen, Bray Wyatt pops up, and he talks about how, you know, he is still the eater of worlds, the new face of fear, what have you, but he's going to get his rematch in a House of Horrors match. Now, this might end up happening at Backlash, for all I know. Bray Wyatt appears behind Randy Orton, and they start brawling. They start brawling. Out comes Eric Rowan, dressed up in a new sheep disguise, and he helps out Bray Wyatt. And after that, Luke Harper comes out to make the save for Randy Orton. I'm confused here, and I'm going to get into that a little more because they announced as the main event that it'll be a tag team match. It'll be Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan versus Luke Harper and Randy Orton. Again, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to get into that later on in this review. We had a backstage segment with Miz and Maryse, and they talk about how, you know, they pretty much pressured John Cena into proposing to Nikki Bella. And being that there's going to be this superstar shakeup, it might be the last time they could even do this, they decide tonight to call out John Cena and Nikki Bella. We had the first match of the night. Naomi defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss, the former champion. Pretty much Alexa Bliss working on Naomi's leg the whole match. And to no avail because Naomi retained her championship, put her in a submission hold that made Alexa Bliss tap out. We had Kurt Hawkins in the ring issuing an open challenge to anyone in the locker room. Now, if you watched Raw this past Monday, you remember the New Day did the same thing. They issued a challenge to any tag team, and out came the Revival from NXT. Now, being that Kurt Hawkins did the same thing here, in the back of your mind, you're assuming, hey, somebody from NXT is going to come out. Someone that's possibly a perfect 10. And out came Ty Dillinger, the perfect 10. The crowd in Orlando went apeshit, doing the 10 count, the 10 chant, if you will. The match, I'll be very honest, was there. I'm not saying it was bad or anything, but it was pretty much there to, hey, show that, hey, here's Ty Dillinger, finally on the main roster. And he ended up beating Kurt Hawkins with the tiebreaker for the 1, 2, 3. So yes, Ty Dillinger is on the SmackDown side of things. And I'll be honest, I feel like that suits him a lot. Better than Raw, in my opinion. But that's just around the point at this point in juncture. We had Miz and Maryse come out dressed as John Cena. And they're talking like, hey, you know, they're going to go off to Hollywood. Him and Nikki Bella. And the crowd's chanting yes, and they're all happy for this. Like, literally, people were entertained by this, literally. And out of nowhere, a guy with the violin came out. And when that happened, everyone lost their fucking minds. The crowd in that arena just went berserk because they knew what this meant. It was the debut on the main roster of a king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura. And with his music hit, oh my god, it was over. Like literally, Nakamura got in the ring, did his pose, what have you. People were singing his theme song as well. And I'll be honest, when that happened, you could have easily ended the show right there, and that would have been it. Let this sink in. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura are both on the same roster, right? If they end up being on the same roster after this whole superstar shakeup, and they don't do a SummerSlam match, then there's something wrong with creative. We had Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose in a street fight. The match was there for me. Like, I'm not saying it was bad. It honestly, I don't know. I feel like at WrestleMania, Baron Corbin should have won. I get it. They're continuing the feud. But you could have easily done a singles match here. It had Baron win and then lead up to the street fight where he would eventually win the Intercontinental Championship. We had Shane McMahon come out talking about the big announcement that Vince McMahon made on Monday Night Raw about the Superstar Shakeup. And he pretty much said, hey, there's a lot of guys on Raw that I can guarantee are hoping they end up on SmackDown Live. Because SmackDown Live is the land of opportunity. Out came AJ Styles. He tells Shane O'Mac that, hey, listen, with this Superstar Shakeup coming up, I don't want to leave SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live is the house that AJ Styles built. So AJ said, and have we never heard that before? And he tells Shane O'Mac, listen, he'll be damned if someone from Raw comes in and takes away his spot. And he says, but I do owe you one. And he goes off to shake Shane McMahon's hand. As he's leaving, he turns around and he pretends he's going to punch Shane. And Shane's in his defensive mode also. Like a little tease, if you will. But I thought that was funny for what it was. But again, like I said earlier, the fact that we have Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles currently still on the same roster, on the same brand, if you will, and they don't end up doing a SummerSlam match, that's going to be a crime in itself. Now, there's a possibility that AJ could end up going to Monday Night Raw. It's a possibility. But I want to hear from you guys down below in the comment thread. Do you think AJ Styles will go to Raw? Do you think he'll stay on SmackDown? All that fun stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. This is Around the Point. Then we have the main event of the evening, the tag team match. Randy Orton, Luke Harper versus Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan, which to me made no type of sense. And here's why. In Luke Harper's, in his point of view, Randy Orton is the reason why this whole dysfunction of the Wyatt family even happened, right? It's Randy's fault. It's Randy's fault why Luke Harper isn't in the Wyatt family. So why is he going to go out there to help him? Why is he teaming up with him? It just makes zero sense to me, to be honest with you. The match for what it was just there. Randy Orton about to go from RKO to Bray Wyatt. And then the lights went out and they play that Wyatt outro. The lights go back on and Bray Wyatt sitting right there outside the ring. Eric Rowan eats the super kick by Luke Harper and the RKO from Orton for the 1-2-3. And that's how they close the show. Again, the main event made no sense to me, but the show overall was an okay, solid show. And that's how we end WrestleMania weekend. But I want to hear from you guys down below in the comment threads. Did you guys enjoy SmackDown Live? What did you like? What did you not like? You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven, Instagram, and also over at Snapchat. Make sure you like all my videos, and as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, it's I, Peruvian Strong Style. It's your boy Heel. This was Around the Point.